Hello, ladies, and welcome back to America's #1 brand new hit reality TV show, airing to you live from the beautiful sunny beaches of Miami on NBC and Peacock. You've heard of the Newlywed Game, but tonight we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the Soon-To-Be-Wed Game. I'm your host, Brian Brooks, better known as the luckiest man in America, and on today's show we have a very special guest, the beautiful, the talented, the exquisite, the lovely Lauren Hart, who today we will put on the hot seat and ask her some questions about her relationship with Brian. Lauren, step on up here, say hello to our audience. Audience, give her a round of applause as she comes to the stage. The beautiful Lauren Hart, everybody. And next up on the stage, her fiance, the luckiest man in America, Brian Brooks. Brian, everybody. Thank you. You're too kind. Thank you. Happy to be here. All right, Lauren, so tonight's game is going to go a little something like this. We are going to ask you a series of questions provided tonight by your fantastic bridesmaids, Julia and Allie, about your relationship with Brian. However, there is a little bit of a catch. For each wrong answer tonight, I regret to inform you, you will have to take a drink. All right, ladies, let's step into the plate and see what Lauren has to offer. All right, Lauren, question 1. Where and under which circumstances did you and Brian first meet? Okay, great. Thanks, Lauren. Brian, your response. Where did we first meet? So as legend has it, Lauren was the cute girl in marketing class, same row as me, just a few seats down. I used to show up mostly unshowered after a rowing practice. Certainly, I had noticed her once or twice. Then it was off-campus party the night of Valentine's Day, junior year, absolute coldest day in history, more or less. Saw Lauren at a basement party and asked her what I still think was a pretty smooth line. I said, hey, I'm pretty sure we have a class together, but I knew we had a class together. Just kind of wanted an excuse to talk to her. Chatted up that night a little bit. Walked her back to campus with a couple other folks. Turned to her as we were departing and said, hey, I hope you don't die tonight, which she at the time felt was like, oh wow, that's really nice of him, which I think is certainly a low bar. But she added me on Facebook the next morning, and I shot her Facebook message over breakfast after getting some encouragement from the friends. So it was a good time. All right, Lauren, question 2. What was your first date? Okay, very interesting. And Brian, first real date. I think we had ran into each other on and off a couple of times. I certainly wanted to see her again, and took her to White Mountain Creamery. I don't remember if I paid. I'd like to think that I did. Got some ice cream, which is still the key to her heart in many ways. And shared an awkward kiss afterwards. My philosophy at the time was, you got to go for it because you got to strike the iron while it's hot. Can't let it get away there. So certainly glad I did. All right, Lauren. Question 3: what was your first impression of Brian? Okay. Back to Brian. Lauren's first impression of me. I think in similar ways, I was the tall guy from marketing class. I think she heard a couple of things through the grapevine from some friends. We had a lot of mutual friends back in college. Some of them better than others, I believe. But she persevered through all that, and here we are today. So, all right, Lauren, we are on to question 4. Who said I love you first? Let's see what Brian has to say about that. All right, who said I love you first? That would be Lauren. It was actually New Year's Eve 2017. She was... Okay, who said I love you first? So that would be Lauren. It was New Year's Eve 2017. I believe we were at the Grasshopper or Iron Bar, or one of those fine Morristown institutions. Lauren was, for lack of a better word, a little bit hammered. Said I love you at the bar, and I said it back. All right, Lauren, question number 5. What is your go-to drink at the bar? Well, well, well. Very interesting indeed, Brian. Lauren's go-to drink at the bar. So I'll say the number one candidate, probably Prosecco. Number two, more of a sit-down situation, but sucker for a spicy marg. Won't say no to a Cabernet or Sauvignon Blanc, depending on the situation as well. All right, Lauren, question number 6. What is one thing that always makes you laugh? Okay, on to Brian. What's one thing that always makes her laugh? So, tough to think of a specific example, but I'll say some of the times when we laugh the hardest is when she kind of roasts me just out of nowhere, like something like, "Well, that's what you think, Busta," and then she'll just start laughing really hard at her own joke, and I start laughing really hard, and then we're both just laughing really hard for an extended period of time. So, definitely. Enjoy when those roasts kind of come out of nowhere. They're fun. We're on to question number 7. What is your guilty pleasure movie or TV show? Huh. That's interesting. Over to Brian. Definitely would have to go with Gilmore Girls. Honorary mention for that one Halloween type show with the witches, or the movie. It's the Halloween movie with the witches on Disney Channel. Second honorable mention to Luck of the Irish, in the little leprechaun lad from Luck of the Irish, who was her original crush, who she thinks I look a little bit like, so that's points in my favor. On to question 8. What is your favorite thing to do on a lazy day? Well, what do you know? Back over to Brian. Favorite thing to do on a lazy day? I think just kind of hanging out on the couch and reading together is always nice. Finding some time for those quiet moments. Question number 9. What is your biggest pet peeve? Well, would you look at that? Back to Brian. Her biggest pet peeve. One of them is definitely how loud I tend to sneeze. She'll often say, that was uncalled for. That was not necessary. I contend it is often necessary, but she contends that it is not. So that's a pet peeve of hers. And question 10, if you had to describe Lauren in one word, what would it be? What do you know? Back over to Brian. To describe Lauren in one word, I say home. When I'm with Lauren, it feels like home. So I'll go with that. All right, ladies, I hate to say it, it's been fun, but that's all the time we have tonight on the Soon-To-Be-Wed game. Tonight's winner and fan favorite, Lauren Hart. Lauren will be taking home a couple of nice bottles of champagne that Brian was kind enough to DoorDash to the house. So enjoy the night, enjoy the weekend. Please have too much fun. Until next time, I've been your host, Brian Brooks.